Happy New Year, everyone. I'm finally out. I haven't been for a while, like you know how holidays are. Oh, he left me to just pass and take a photo of him. It was cute. I hope the sun's gonna last for a bit because until I got here and he's not very prepared one. I think this is the only time I'm gonna talk about this. These sort of videos are probably gonna go to Patreon. I'm trying to save money for a bit better camera. Everything's recorded on a phone. It's been years actually. I'm trying to get there, but live stuff sometimes. There's a little bird up there singing. It's not a sparrow, it's this colorful bird. We have lots of them back in Slovakia. We used to feed them every winter in my parents' garden. I just wanted to really give a little bit of background to the channel, to the videos I'm creating now. It's been a few years I've opened the channel. I started creating very different videos. Obviously I was just learning how to really edit videos, so those videos are there, you can see them, they're not great. It's a learning process still for me. I still find out that a lot of things when I post it is not the way I actually maybe intended. Nice one! She briefly looked at me. What do you want? Yeah, but these are the moments, exactly, like, nature. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, especially how YouTube works, algorithm, as I learned. We should be posting every week or every 2 weeks at least, and it's physically not possible for me with the all editing. Most people, probably you too, what brought you here is the West Highland Way video. That one was very special to me. That's maybe why I transmitted through. That video took me quite intense editing for a month. Obviously I as well worked and I'm not really sure how I'm gonna approach this. So yeah, then when I was creating the Great Glen video, I recognized that it doesn't give that emotional thing as the West Highland Way did. That's as well because I had very little videos recorded. At holiday was more about really enjoying being together, like when I go with my partner, I don't want to spoil the whole trip recording, I guess, and see how it goes when we go together, but I find it easier when I record on my own. So that's one of the reasons why that video is a little bit different. I rushed a little bit with that video as well. Time was flying and suddenly it was almost 2 months without posting anything, and when I started doing them I found it to be like, it's a great creative outlet if you are a creative person, you like either painting or loud. That was a shot. I'm not sure you heard that. Are they hunting here? I love the editing, and if I have time to really create the emotion of it, and I as well used to do videos a little bit more in a poetic way, which will appear sometimes on the channel, is a bit changing. It's gonna be more about adventures and trips into outdoors, everything in relation to nature, creation of simplicity and simple life, which is hard to maintain in the society and world we live in. It's very strongly pushing us constantly being in a hustle culture, busy, never properly stop and reflect, I guess. I'm in my 30s now. Oh God. And only now I'm realizing how much connection to nature I always had. I took it for granted a lot. Like when I was younger, growing up, I was very lucky to be surrounded by people who loved going outdoors. We would go, today is 2nd of January, and we would spend every year in a cottage in mountains. 1st of January we would go for a trip to mountains and hiked. For example, right now when you just hear the water, it's very recharging. I read recently somewhere that water has the largest capacity to recharge us and bring us to the state of calmness. The sound of it, either if you're by a sea, by a river, by a lake, any kind of nature, that as soon as I am a bit in there, just immediately feeling better, as I do struggle sometimes with mental health issues, as we all do, I guess. So this is very helpful. Again, not everybody is like that, not everybody maybe needs nature, and that is absolutely okay. But there's lots of us out there who do. I work in mental health, so I guess I'm exposed to it quite a lot. It's apparent doing such work how disconnected we are. As a society, we disconnected greatly from who we used to be. We were for thousands of years in connection to nature, and we forgot it a little bit in past decades. It's not even that long, maybe a few centuries, but comparing to the whole span of time of humankind, it's very short period, and that leaves a mark. There's lots and lots of people struggling with mental health nowadays because the way the society is structured and the way we're going is very disconnected. And I think from watching other people creating, a lot of people are actually realizing this, which is a great thing. Oh, I'm not recording, that's great, so now I have to repeat myself. So I just have these fond memories growing up, and I think that was a time when my appreciation for nature developed. I remember moments when we were in mountains and I just seen this amazing view in front of me, and I just thought like how beautiful it is, you know. I think over the years, by me starting being more creative, and this just grew inside, and this appreciation like is still there. That's what I would love to transmit through this channel as well. But yeah, if you are a creator, and especially YouTube nowadays, a lot of people are, it's not easy in a sense. Again, is that culture of quantity, create as much as possible, you know, to really work with the algorithm. I find a little bit discouraging in some sense, because it feels pressured again, like there are different kinds of videos, or obviously different people do different things, and different things need a different amount of time, different amount of editing. When I want to create these really emotionally connecting things as much as possible, it's not gonna be possible every time, but in reality there was Highland Way video. I did a hike 2 years ago. I loved the experience. It was very meaningful to me, which probably you can say from the video. It took me a while to process it. I am quite a slow processor in this sense. I feel things very deeply. I wasn't even able to talk about it much when I got back. But yeah, when I sat down to actually do it now a few months back, it felt very right. It felt like, okay, now it's time to finally put it together. So imagine it took 2 years to get there. I'm not saying that every video is like that, it's not. Well, the ones which are connected to certain emotions, and it is a process. It can be a few months, let's say, not years. Like the way YouTube works, it's not really possible for me to achieve what it asks for. There used to be time I used to be very connected to these emotions, and process would be all the time. I would feel very creative, but at the same time it's hard in the world like we live in, because that was as well a time I had the least money, and it's a societal issue, I think, because that was a difficult time. I barely managed to survive month to month. I worked, but I got paid very little. But at the same time, it was the most creative time for me. Very tough one, but creative. And I did notice with my last videos that some things I would do really differently, but I rushed a little bit, which I don't think it's really fair on everyone who's watching. Well, like, you want to watch something what's captivating in some way. So what I guess trying to say is that I'm just at the very beginnings of this journey. The very, very beginnings happened a few years back when I started the channel, and I just created. I was just really learning, appreciating places around. My parents were the most people who watch those videos, while I live far away from them, so it was kind of nice to connect this way. Then I had a few years break, and hopefully now I can sort of start again and see where it goes. I do wonder if there was anything else I wanted to say. You can see the sun behind me. It's setting. It's only 2 o'clock. By 3 it's gonna be down, and it's gonna start getting dark. Well, here in this part of the world it's very low very soon. This hour is amazing. Yeah, the golden light. And the birds kind of flying away from me. I'll try my best, but I'm realizing that sometimes when I rush it, it's going on the account of the quality. It might change over time, like these things change. And yeah, I as well heard you who commented and wanted more videos about wild camping, and those are definitely gonna be a part. Like, they're coming very soon. Actually, my whole Abyss way I did wild camping. And while long distance hikes are not as easy to go to, and I usually manage just one in a year, so, but definitely same time I want to bring things which will be inspirational or offer value to you. So this is no sort of videos are gonna be here much. Maybe sometimes mostly the adventures. This is just me ranting a little bit. I guess I'd be curious. Maybe let me know what's your go-to, what inspires you. There seem to be coming out already like a spring flowers. It's a bit early. It's getting cold now. The sun is really going down. Yeah, I wanted to attempt like a winter camping, but it's getting really cold now. So, well, yeah, I want to thank you being here on this little rant of mine. And I hope to see you. Well, it's a hard one, isn't it? Because I'm not gonna see you. Well, I hope to connect with you. That's a way to go. Through the screen, through the content. Did you find something in there which connects to you? Either it's an inspiration, it's a feeling, it's something, it's a love for outdoors.